Good morning, happy Thursday. Let's get started. So whenever you see a green space, it means you're going to complete an activity. So far this week, you have read about how reading books can impact children's lives, particularly their creativity and curiosity about the world around them. Today, you will do some virtual exploring of the world introduced by reading. Click through the slides and take a virtual field trip inspired by a book. So you're going to learn some background information about the text that inspired today's quest to the North Pole. Then you're going to learn about geographic location from the North Pole. You're going to click through the slides in order to complete your virtual quest to the North Pole. And then finally, you're going to reflect on a book that transported you to a different world. So if you need the translated directions, as always, they are right here. You just need to click the link and it's going to pop right up. Okay, so today we're going to go on a virtual field trip that references several texts in the form of videos, pictures, and articles. The virtual trip is inspired by a text from Collections, an excerpt from Helen Thayer's memoir about her journey to the North Pole. You're going to click here to see the excerpt that inspired today's trip. Gotta keep moving myself, I'm in the way. So in 1988, at the age of 50, Helen Thayer became the first woman to walk and ski to the North Pole without a snowmobile or dog sled. She is also known for being the first woman to walk across the Sahara Desert. In the memoir Polar Dream, Thayer recounts the harsh conditions she encountered on her journey to the North Pole. Today, you will take a virtual trip past the Arctic Circle to the North Pole and explore the world that Thayer saw. So review the next slide to build your background information about the North Pole before you begin. So this is just a slide that talks about the North Pole. Where is it? It's in the Arctic. So the North Pole is found at the top of the Earth in the center of the Arctic, the name for the area north of the Arctic Circle. In North America, the Arctic is located within Canada and the United States. The physical location of the Arctic contributes to its extreme temperatures and geographic features. In the way again, of course. So for language focus, you're going to do Arctic and Antarctic like against each other. Not against each other, but like which is which. So the North and South Poles, the Arctic and Antarctic, are often confused. So watch the video. Again, every time there's a video, it is a very helpful resource. It's not something that you should just be clicking through. So click this video to learn more about Arctic versus Antarctic. So let's go to the North Pole. So watch the video on the left and record your observations on the box on the right. Describe the conditions the subjects endured on their journey to the North Pole. Watching the video, then you describe. So as you learn by reviewing the maps on slide 4, the North Pole is at the center of the Arctic, the area north of the Arctic Circle. Gates of the Arctic National Park and Preserve is found in the Alaskan Arctic in the United States. Watch the video to see close up the animals you might encounter on the journey to the North Pole. So which animals or animals most captured your attention and why? Which animal would you least like to see on your journey to the North Pole? In my personal opinion, it would be something that's obviously dangerous that I wouldn't want to see because you know I'm scared of everything. So click the links below to review websites about the Arctic and the North Pole. Identify the 5 facts that you find the most interesting and would like to share with someone else and list them in the green space. So now you're doing some research. You are looking through these articles and finding 5 facts that you find most interesting. So the next 3 slides will contain pictures of the Arctic and the North Pole. Look at the picture closely and describe it in the green space below. So you're going to describe it using vivid imagery, my favorite thing. I'm going to do the same thing here. Describe it in the space. Okay, so you can type in that space. So you want to make sure that you are describing in those spaces. And then the last picture, describe it in the space. All right, so let's reflect. Is there a book or poem that you have read that made you want to travel to a different time or place? What was the title of the book? Where did you want to go? If you cannot think of a book, is there a movie, show, or video game that transported you to a different world? I can't wait to see everybody saying that they can't figure out a book, so they're going to talk about Fortnite, which I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of these, if I get any at all. So describe your choice and your world in the place below. My personal one is James and the Giant Peach. You guys know I love Roald Dahl. In my personal opinion, I would love to travel somewhere with a or inside of a peach. How weird is that? It made me want to travel somewhere inside of a flying peach. All right. So if you need extra help, you're going to make a list of the examples given on slide 12 to help you decide what you want to write about. So the list that has the most information should be the one that you use because you'll be able to create more detailed writing, obviously. The one where you can think of the most examples would be the one that you would obviously go with. All right. So that is it for today. In my personal opinion, I told you guys things are going to be fun this week. I think this is pretty fun. I like the idea of a virtual field trip. So attendance, please. Live questions document. And I will see you tomorrow for the last day of school.